Hello friends and welcome back to the Business Guruji. Please click on the subscribe button to get the latest videos from our channel. Today we shall be talking about a less known function in Excel, which is offset. If you can understand the offset function correctly, then you can create miracles in Excel by creating beautiful dashboards and dynamic graphs. So before explaining the uses of offset, let me show you some quick examples so you are interested in the use and can see what you can do with offset. So for example, if you have a range with US, Canada, Mexico and Brazil as range 1 and range 2 has the states of each of the country. So I can create a dynamic drop down list using offset. So if I select US, uh, the range 2 will show me only those states which are pertaining to US as per table number 2. If I click on Canada, I will get only those states which are showing in against Canada. Similarly, if you have different ranges, different states against each of the country, then also this function can work. So if I have selected US, this will show me 5 states, but if I select Canada, it will show me 6 states as per the new table. Again, if I click on Mexico, it will show me only 3 states as per the new table. Another example of offset is dynamic graphs. So I have shown a quick demonstration of the dynamic graphs. If I select different start and end month, the graph will change automatically. So it becomes very important that you understand offset function clearly so that you can create beautiful wonders in your Excel sheet. So let us now go back to the offset function and see what it does. So offset function returns a range that is a specified number of rows and columns from a reference cell or a range. So if you see the syntax of offset is offset reference. So if you have a reference of start from say ID number column E11, cell number E11, you offset the rows. So if you offset rows by 1, it will move down from 11 to 12, and then you offset the columns. So if you offset columns by 1, it will move from row is offsetted by 1, you move to 1001, and columns are offsetted by 1, then you move to name. So that means if your offset function is E11, 1, 1, the output will be returned as John. Let us see this by a quick example. Let me unhide these cells. Equal to offset. I will select E11, I'll freeze it. I will offset this by 1 and 1. My answer will be John. So if I offset it by, suppose I offset the rows by 2, it will go from 1 and 2 and it will move to Chris. So my answer should be Chris. Now we shall quickly see how offset function can be used for dynamic data creation. So if you have like row reference as ID number, that means you want to move down for rows as per ID, and column reference could be either name or sales. So you're not sure initially and it is dynamic that you can either select name or sales. So your row reference is ID and your column reference could be any of these headers. So I will use match function to move in rows as well as in columns. So if you want to select the ID number as 1003 and the column reference is name, that means your answer should be Harry. You want to move to ID number 1003 and you want to see the name, it is Harry. Similarly, in second example, if you want to see the sales of the person with ID number 1005, you have ID number 1005 and the sales is 10,000. So let us see this by quick example. We'll use the same formula and the answer should be returned for both. I'll use offset reference is ID number. I will freeze this. Now, how many rows do I have to offset? So I'll use the match function. Oops. I will look up this value because I have to offset it by this. Lookup array is this. I will freeze this so that it doesn't move when I copy it down, and I'll use the exact match. So this will match 1003 with this, and the answer returned would be 3. So it will move down to 1, 2, and 3. Now we have to reference offset the columns. I'll again use the match function. Lookup value would be this because I have to move to name, and lookup array would be the headers. I will again freeze this so it doesn't move by pressing the F4 function. Oops, some error, I didn't press the comma. L3 comma lookup array is this. I'll freeze by pressing F4, and match type would be exact. So now what does it do? So it has offsetted the columns by selecting L3 name, matching it with this row and moving it. The answer returned would be 2. So but I only have to offset it by 1, so I will do a -1 because the name is at 1 and 2, so I have subtracted -1, so it returns the right answer. Other options are optional, and I will explain the others in my next example. So the answer comes out to Harry, which is right, and if I copy and paste the same, it is returning 10,000, which is 1005 against the sales, which is 10,000. So let us see what offset does in the second example. So the reference value was E11. It started from ID number. It matched K14, which is 1005, with this array. So it returned 5. It moved down to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then it moved to columns by seeing at L14. L14 is sales, and it matching it with this table. So the answer returned would be 1, 2, and 3, but we only have to offset it by 2. Hence we have -1. So it returned 2. So hence is offsetted by 1 and 2. If you also see that offset has two more columns, which is height and the width. So on not only selecting one cell, we can also select the height as well as width. For example, if you have reference number as ID, you offset it by 1, 1. If you select the height as 4, that means it will select all the 4 items here, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you select column width as 2, so it will select 2 columns, which so the answer returned would be F12 to G15. Now because Excel cannot show 8 cells into one, so in our next video we will see how to use these dynamic selections for more than one cell. See you in next video.